All right, hello, welcome to my week 4 dynamic summary, the last weekly summary before a full semester summary that we'll do next week, actually just in a few days. So with that being said, let's get started, start to look at what we did this week in dynamics. So first, let's look at some of the online stuff, the discussions and neat resources that we did. The discussion post of the week was the 4-hour work week. This is a summary of excuse me, of a book. The book was written by Tim Ferriss, and then we have just a summary by Nicholas Goki. And he just says it's a very, very brief summary. He highlights 3 lessons. When I remember doing this or looking at this summary in statics and being a little frustrated, I tried to look at this again, tried to kind of not bring that same frustration with me, and try to bring a little bit more understanding the fact that this is, for the most part, this is just a quick 1-page summary to get you to look at the book, see if you want to read this book or not. I'm sure the book has, more information. It's going to flesh out these ideas a little bit better. Because with all of that being said, and trying to be as fair as I can to the purpose of this, the summary of it itself, if I'm to take a lesson from just the summary, um, I'm not getting it, to be honest. So start with lesson 1: be effective, not efficient. Okay, so the lesson here is that if you're efficiently doing a job and you have output, if the output is not effective, if it's not constructive, it doesn't serve a purpose, then there's really no point. Um, and there's a theme of these 3 lessons, and I'm going to hit it off right here in lesson 1. Yeah, my takeaway is, yeah, obviously. And really, my thought here is you can't really be one without the other. Because, and I use my law firm as reference quite a bit. If you're a paralegal at the firm, you are in charge of drafting any type of document. You are drafting that document, and boy, you're cranking it. You're kicking them out, right? You're doing 5, 10, 15 more of these documents than anyone else during the day. Super efficient. Problem is that if these documents are wrong, if they have errors, there's all these issues. So either they're going to, whoever's signing it, whoever's responsible, the attorney is going to sign it, it's going to bring it back to you and point out these errors, and you have to redo it. Or worse yet, those errors don't get found out, it gets filed, and now it's part of the court record, and now to fix that error requires a lot of time and effort when it comes to filing a motion to correct or something like that, and maybe even having to serve all your defendants and everybody with this motion to correct, fix your error. That's not very effective. And not only they're not effective, but the fact that you had to go back and redo the document, or now cause another person to have to redo the document or file corrective documents. Now that's not even that you're not efficient at all, because any efficiency, any time that you save or gain cranking these documents out, you're going to give that back and then some, typically fixing the document or fixing the problem. So, in my thought, you can't really be effective but not efficient. I suppose you can be effective, but it takes a while, right? But you can't really be efficient and not be effective, because the blowback is going to negate any efficiency that you may have gained. Lesson 2: always validate your business ID. Well, yeah, this frustrates me because the very idea that this lesson has to be put in print would indicate that somewhere along the way somebody forgot that this was a thing, that in order for you to have a product, to sell a good, to sell a service, that there needs to be a consumer, there needs to be a customer for that product, good, service. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? To think, well, I want to make this because I like to make it and it's fun for me to make. If you have to be told that it doesn't really matter if you like to make it because there may not be anyone to buy it, then I don't think this is really, whatever you're trying to sell is probably not the business for you. I'm just blown away. There seems like such common sense. In order for you to have a business, you need to have a customer base. There needs to be a consumer to which you can sell your good, your service, what have you. Um, so I read lesson 2 and I say, well, yeah, obviously. So again, this isn't necessarily breakthrough information. Lesson 3 is talking about not essentially. I think the idea of lesson 3 is not selling yourself short. Charge a premium to need less clients to make your life. Well, that sounds great. I'm going to charge a premium price for a premium product, service, good, what have you. And because I'm not selling in bulk, I need less customers, and I get the same amount of money. And oh, it seems so easy. And they have this, $40 per bottle, what have you. Again, in whatever this is, 50 or so words, it seems to make sense, but you fail to take into consideration that we live in a competitive economy. We have competition amongst many different, if you're selling any type of good, there's other firms, other sellers, other producers that you're in competition with. If this notion of, success ultimately depends on charging a premium in order to have to sell essentially to less people, then then Walmart, Costco, Samsung, these places would not be as successful as they are, because in a competitive marketplace, you're trying to sell, you're trying to get the consumer in the door and buy your product, regardless of anything else, above all else. So if I'm competing with another seller and they're selling for $1 less, the same product, or maybe my product's even a little bit better, but the average consumer is not going to have the time to research the two products to understand which one's better, and if that dollar savings is really saving in the long run. For the most part, they're going to go to my competitor who has a same product. They think it's the same product for $1 cheaper because they think they're saving $1 right then and there. Now maybe my product's better. Maybe my product is a premium product. But again, is the consumer going to spend all that time doing all the research? Maybe, probably not. Um, so I can see the idea of, charge a premium, don't sell yourself short, but that's such a black and white statement for the grayscape that is a competitive market type, capitalistic economy. So that a little too simplistic for my taste. Moving on to neat resources. So far, as of this is Saturday, the 2nd, the only neat resources that we have are mine and KC. Now, mine was a fun little augmented reality zoo, and I've just there we are. My neat resource was this fun AR zoo. I've seen this video once or twice, and pretty simplistic little setup here, that you have what appears to be a mall, and you have shoppers that can come out, and you have this AR display, and it puts giraffes, and if you can skip around, this is another 5-minute video, but you skip around, they have penguins at certain points, there's an elephant, and the kids can look up at the monitor and see the elephant, they can try to pet it or whatever. I mean, it's just a fun thing. Especially what's going on right now with the virus, people can't get out. Some of these little technologies can be fun because they can kind of get you exposure to some degree to animals, to fun. This is fun. This can be educational. Um, so I enjoyed it. I thought it was a cute little video, and this is now almost 5 years old, so the technology is certainly much better nowadays. But I certainly thought it had this type of technology has a great educational and entertainment purpose. With that being said, the other neat resource that was put in was done by KC, and blew mine out of the water completely, was the Tesla suit, which sort of, to me, seems like when you think of those motion capture suits, those mocap suits in the movies, you usually see those with all the white, ping pong balls all over them. And to me, that's kind of what this looks like, but without the balls. And I mean, what he talked about with this thing can kind of monitor your heart rate and do all these different things, and it can be motion capture and provide feedback. And so I have a fun video about elephants in the mall. KC posted um, apparently the future of virtual reality by the look of it. So I have to give Best Resource Award this week to KC. Blows my mall elephant out of the water quite a bit. Another thing I want to get to is some of the videos that I've continued to look at. Um, Continue on Jeff Hansen's series, kind of finishing up the end of his little series. We're doing work and energy, and he's got a few of them that we've done in terms of work and energy. They've been interesting. I've also done a lot of the Wang videos. Those have been great. The other thing that I saw him do, and this isn't necessarily related to dynamics, but earlier this week he posted or he did a live statics or final review for his statics course, and did this for, well, yeah, goodness, almost 2 hours, going over some principles. And he's been doing this. You can go on his page, and he teaches algebra and thermodynamics, a lot of different classes. He posted this up. There has not been a dynamics final exam live review yet, but I am hopeful maybe that he'll maybe do one Monday or Tuesday of next week, and hoping maybe he'll post one and I'll get to watch that as well, and that could be a good time. So, and then of course I've been using this information, making notes using my Rocketbook to make notes and then put it into the OneNote class OneNote booklet. So, with that being said, that is the week of week 4. We will see you again for the semester review.